Hey everyone, welcome to this video. I'm going to show you how to put together your Pandora 60% if you are in the group buy or if you're buying it aftermarket or whatever. So everything will come to you in this box. This is just for show right now for the video, but let's pretend you got everything and you unpacked it. There's a lot of stuff you're going to get depending on what you bought, how many extras you got, your configuration, etc. So let's go through it. You're going to have your weight, your PCB, and it can be solder or hot swap. This one is hot swap. You're going to get your diffuser for RGB, some foam for the plate and the PCB, some foam for the case, your bottom piece, it's not going to have this, I'll show you that in a bit, your mid piece, and your top piece with the badge. And you're going to have some mounting stuff. In the bigger bag is going to be your gaskets with an extra one just in case, 3 JST connectors, your USB hub, your rotary encoder, and your USB-C Daughterboard, and the feed, of course. Then in the smaller bag, it's going to be all of your gold mounted hardware, minus the badge one. Okay, let me move that to the side really quick. So then where would you start? Okay, I would get everything that doesn't come in the group buy. You're going to need an LED if you plan on using that on the PCB, which I'll show you that in a bit. Just normal LED. You don't really need it. This is for like caps lock if you use that. You can have 2 at most on the PCB. You're going to need some kind of switch. Stabilizers, screw in stabilizers, that's what you need. You can get them anywhere you want, whatever color, it doesn't really matter. That's all up to you. You're going to need keycaps, obviously. And last but not least, some solder equipment. So these are the extras. If you don't have any of this, I would start by getting this. And then down the line you can do more fancy things like lube if you want, stickers for your switches, stuff like that. Okay, so then, the place that I would start off is the PCB. These PCBs will not come flash because they will all be sealed. So, you're going to grab one of your JST connectors, carefully put it in to your daughterboard. And you can do 2 things. You can connect it to where it says USB on the hub, and then connect PCB to the actual PCB where it says main here. And then you can connect the USB-C cable here and flash the PCB with some files that are on my website. Once that is done, you can test every single switch, the RGB, everything to make sure that that works. I suggest testing every part of the PCB before soldering it or inserting the switches just so everything works. Now, if for whatever reason you don't want to use a hub, or your hub breaks, or say something happens, you can bypass the hub by disconnecting it. You can leave it in the Pandora or whatever, you can trash it if you want, and then you can directly connect the daughterboard to the PCB. Now, for your encoder, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to connect the JST cable carefully. You're going to pop your knob on there, and then you're going to connect it to where it says encoder on your PCB. Just like that. Let me put this on the side for a second. Okay, after let's say you've done the PCB, put it aside for now, and you will start on your bottom piece. Take your little feet, put them on, 4 of them. Next, you're going to take your daughter board and screw it in here. 4 of these 2mm screws. Very small. You can get them anywhere you want. That's what it's going to look like, 4 of them. You're going to connect it to your hub, which is also going to be screwed in by 2 of them. Connect the daughter board to the hub, and then the hub is going to be laying freely like this for the PCB. Next thing I would connect is the encoder. This is again the one that I already have for my prototype. You have to remove the weight to connect the encoder in there. These are the screws that I use on mine. 3mm. They come included in your kit here. That's them. And an easy way to do it is just pop out the encoder. Put both of them in. And then just screw it in. Don't over tighten anything on polycarbonate because it will crack. So just go slow, nice and easy. Now if you don't have polycarbonate, you would have gotten an alu piece, and this one's a little more resistance to like cracking under load. Okay, bottom's done. Now we're gonna put the weight in carefully. Again, on polycarbonate parts, you gotta be careful. This stuff can crack easily. There you go, nice and easy. I actually might have used the wrong screws, guys, but it's okay. Those countersunk screws are for the weight. Doesn't matter too much, but it's still okay. Okay. Once that is done, your bot's finished. Okay, you can move on to something like your mid. This little corner is for your PCB caps lock indicator to go. You're going to take your mid piece and you're going to take your gaskets and just put them around. You're going to take your top piece and do the same thing. You see the gaskets? 12 gaskets total plus 1 in here, extra just in case. At that point, you can also put in your badge if you haven't done that yet. Just 2 3mm screws from the bottom. Like that. I have a built part here already. This is my personal build with a stainless steel plate. And just to show you, here's the mid piece. And that's how it rests on top of the gaskets. Then you just sandwich it with the top piece and screw it all in together. But we're gonna go over a couple things first. If you want to, you can use case foam to dampen it a little bit. It just gets rid of some clicking and stuff like that. And when building your Pandora, you can also use the case foam, the PCB foam, sorry, to dampen even more. I've got a titanium plate here. And what you would do is you would just put it like this. And then for this hot swap build, you just start popping switches in. Nothing more left to do. And if you don't want to use the foam, same thing. Just get rid of it. Start popping switches in. And once that's done, you just put it in like that. If you want to diffuse the RGB, you use the diffuser here on top of the foam. Or, sorry, under the foam. My bad. Like that. then your mid. And at this point, when you're connecting your PCB, you just lift it up like this, grab your connector, and you would pop it in. Very simple. So there's one in, like that, you can see it. And then we do the other one as well. And to show you, these are the connections. So I'm just going to leave them unplugged for now. Put the top part on. And then you would screw it all together. Now, this build is polycarbonate, so it would not make much sense to use the RGB diffuser. But for an aluminum build, it does make a lot of sense if you want that RGB. But if we take all this out, we can just put it back together, and there you go. That would be a build. Now let's screw it in for you guys. On the latest versions, I have alignment like little pins, not pins, alignment like tabs all over the board, so it's easier to put together. Again, please, when working with polycarbonate, you have to be very careful to screw it in slowly or you can crack the polycarbonate. Just be mindful of that. And you can start with a corner if you want, you can do whatever you want. All I recommend is just go slow so you don't crack it. There you go. Now let me think really quick if I missed anything. There are 4 different plate options: half plates and full plates, solder or hot swap. So this is, for example, a build that I have as well. This is hot swap half plate with the foam, if you can see. Same thing, just pop switches in, nothing special. If you are using a HHKB top or a wing keyless top or anything like that, make sure you don't accidentally solder these switches, because then you'll have to desolder them because of the win key blockers, win keyless. There's many different layouts you can use: split backspace, ISO enter. Be mindful of all those things. And I'm gonna move on and probably do a segment on how to flash the PCB with QMK and how to configure it. So that'll be next, guys. Okay, let's move on to that.